Hey everybody, this is the Aggressively Medium podcast with Lee and Josh.
All right, episode 36.
36
of the Aggressively Medium podcast. Welcome back. We got two.
Chuckleheads is what I like to call them.
Yeah, they've got a.
Yeah, we got Chucklehead and his handler.
One of them's got the PTDS. You got that post traumatic Down syndrome.
Good Lord. Well, half
One
my
of them.
family can't
We'll
listen
let
to that
y'all.
episode
We'll
now.
let y'all figure
That's
out
good.
which one it is
As we go.
as we go. If you haven't listened to the first two podcasts that he was on,
Oh, yeah.
And I've only been on one.
yeah, you've only
That's good.
Well, I needed somebody that was just going to be like, it was just a dumb podcast.
he
that
needed
day.
somebody to make fun of me for 35 minutes.
Yeah, pretty much.
I bet people were entertained by it.
Oh, I'm sure they were.
Except
Just
Lee.
like when you
I will-
see a short bus driving by, you're like, look, I bet that's a fun bus to be on.
I would like to formally apologize to Lee.
I appreciate
He
it.
didn't like the first 5 minutes where we
It was much longer
we
than
were
5
going in on
minutes.
It was not
Yeah.
that long.
They tore me up for 18 minutes.
Lee's a guy that
I can dish it.
can dish it, but can't
Definitely
take
can't take it. Can't take it, not one bit.
I've took it before.
it. Lee's what you call a pitcher. He's not a catcher.
Nope. Not in my
K-Chap.
professional life.
I know what it is.
Or my personal life, yeah. I've never caught.
Yeah,
So-
well, I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, but Josh told me to really rip into you before we started that.
I don't doubt that.
And what you know, I said before we started that podcast, I said, Josh, do you want me to be silly in this podcast? And he goes, yeah,
Silly.
be as silly as
That's
you
all I
can.
wanted.
I said, all right, I'll turn up the silly.
All I wanted was silly out of that podcast. I didn't want to talk about anything serious, and we'll accomplish that.
That's good.
Yeah, we
Zach, are you even here right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very much present.
Are you high or like
No.
hungover or
He's in
No.
private mode.
private mode? Oh, you got a private tab up?
Yeah, incognito.
Incognito.
Can't track you.
You can't see my search history.
Yeah. Well,
Have y'all heard of DuckDuckGo? For real?
Yeah, I have.
I've heard commercials about
That's
it.
I use
it's
that
the internet
I
thing.
use that search. It's like Google with no
I've heard of
track.
Oh, is it an internet thing? Well, you sound like me. Are you 40? Is that an internet thing?
I've heard commercials
You did your
about
old joke.
I did.
Yeah.
I told y'all what it didn't bother
I
me.
didn't have to do it now.
DuckDuckGo.
DuckDuckGo. It's a
like GoDaddy.
it's a
Private.
web engine. It's a search engine. It's a search engine
GoDaddy's
app.
not what you think it is.
GoDaddy is a.
It's a
just
website maker.
Yeah, I
It's a
know.
domain
I never
site.
said anything about it.
He
He
said
said something
GoDaddy.
about it.
Well, I saw the look that you made.
Yeah, because
Y'all
GoDaddy
are
is
sitting two inches from
GoDaddy
each
is a
other.
hosting service, and DuckDuckGo is just a private browser.
You can
Yeah.
smell his mustache.
When
That's how
I
close
was
y'all
a
are
kid,
Yeah, I
sitting.
know.
when I was a
can-
kid, and you'd see the GoDaddy commercials like Danica Patrick.
Yeah.
Every brain cell in my body thought that was not a
It was a girls racing website.
something
No.
like
I
that.
thought it
Something
was-
to the sense of like girls and
porn.
It was
Yeah.
a lost calls
I
lost
thought it
calls
was-
website.
I thought it was adult entertainment.
I didn't think it was
Wow.
where you go to make websites and domains.
Depending
Yeah.
on who you are, that might be adult entertainment.
yeah.
If you like making websites,
I made my first GoDaddy domain when I was 17 years
I would
old.
love to hear what the name of it is.
I don't remember. honestly.
Don't
You
believe
don't
that
remember
for a
that?
No,
second.
I do.
That's
It
that
was-
selected
it was-
amnesia.
It was the Focus bracelet.
Oh, is that one?
It was a bracelet
GoDaddy.com.
company made by GoDaddy, powered by GoDaddy.
So, anyways, here we are back on the podcast. We've got Zach Rogers, or the masked vigilante, or whatever.
Yeah.
And then we've got Riley Voce.
That's right. Yep.
Dadgummit, I got
That's
it
the
right.
first time you said that right.
It is.
Siri
Riley
always-
Voce.
No one asked
Siri
for us
always
to come
says
back,
Voce.
but we're here.
Voce.
It's actually I
It's
learned
Voce. You're
I
French.
learned a week ago that it is French. It's Voce.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Shut up, Lee.
Sounds like some bull
Yeah.
No, I'm
che.
a French man, and if you think about it, you can really tell.
You seem French.
Yeah.
I do.
Real light on your feet.
Soft, tender, dainty, I think. Is
So,
what-
anyways, if you don't know about these guys, they own Blenz food truck, which is if you've ever had Fruitables,
It's pretty much our only credentials.
it's kind of like Fruitables.
imagine
That we
if
own a
you
food truck.
That you don't have
imagine
a
if
feature.
you made a smoothie and it was like too thick to drink and you just threw it out into a bowl in frustration and then threw a bunch of peanut butter on it. That's actually not bad.
I don't think
That's
Zach
not
likes
far
that
off.
No, that's
analogy.
It's a smoothie bowl.
Terrible. Okay, imagine if you were just hungover and like just throwing things together, and you're like, here's
Zach
some
already
bread.
doesn't like this either.
Here's some bread and some Colby Jack cheese
That's
and
that's
some
close.
Okay.
macaroni from 2 weeks
Yeah,
ago.
Sometime maybe, I don't know. Depends on when it was made.
So,
You're not
anyways,
far
it's a
off.
smoothie bowl food truck, right? And you have 2 here, and then you're opening a new one, right?
Yeah, we're expanding to Oxford, Mississippi, Ole Miss campus.
Yeah.
We're gonna pretty much do a partnership with them, similar to like what we do here in Tuscaloosa with the University of Alabama. I think that will be our 3.5 year mark or 2.5 year mark, and then we'll have 2 locations here and 2 there. So we're doing pretty well, I guess.
Y'all are at
And we
2
get a store. We get
in
a store.
January. Y'all will be
And
at
you
2
have-
years because
And
I'm
you
at
have
2.5.
3 houses.
No, it'll be
too.
2.5.
3 houses, yeah.
I think.
I started
This is our-
June of 18.
This will
started-
be our 3rd January.
Our
Yeah.
LLC was formed August 2018.
And you open in January.
September was our first day on campus.
This will be our 3rd January, right?
yeah.
So, what kind of things can people expect if
That's
they go to
why
your
I've
food
always
truck?
been so confused.
Usually, like if you go to our food truck, you have some kind of sense of like why you're coming, like what we serve. You don't come there really like.
But if I
Not
just walked up
knowing.
and saw like a big truck with a surfboard on it, I'd be like,
Oh,
oh,
you're
that
gonna
looks
see
cool.
something pretty sick. It's got like a cool wrap design on it. It's got like palm trees, surfboards, smiley faces.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool vibes, you know.
Pineapple.
Yeah.
You forgot to
But-
mention the Bible verses.
Yeah, we got Bible verses.
That's
but
supposed to be important.
So now
It
you
is
can't
important.
cuss at
Tomato-
all during this episode.
tomato.
Unless you, unless you
but
cinch up your hoodie more than you can.
We
cuss.
do smoothie
Yeah.
bowls, acai bowls.
You guys use like any milk products or anything like coconut milk?
No lactose.
No coconut milk.
No coconut milk.
Sure?
We
Do you
use
have coconut
almond milk.
flakes or
You have
anything that you
coconut,
can put
yeah.
on?
Coconut flakes, yeah.
Yeah.
What are
So
about
you
to
use
do?
coconut.
I'm just resting my.
You have
ahead-
a pretty
go ahead
cool
and-
story
go
about
ahead and
coconuts.
break
the joke
don't
that you're
you?
about to say.
Well,
No,
So-
you have a pretty cool story about
Yeah.
coconuts.
So they're it's over in like I think it's Indonesia.
Yeah.
Where
It's where you get your coconuts from.
Yeah, where the people who make coconuts are from. They actually got busted recently. A bunch of brands with coconut milk just got busted recently for abusing workers. The workers are monkeys.
Yep.
They would send the monkeys up the tree to go get the coconut and then come back down, and then they'd like stuff them in a cage
They
for
throw
like
them in cages
20
overnight.
hours or whatever until it's the next time to like go get coconuts again.
Peter got real hot about it.
Yeah. So if you eat at Blenz,
They-
just know that you're
Monkey.
eating a bowl on the backs of
Abused chimps.
monkeys. Yeah.
No, our monkeys have a union and they bond together for equal rights with everyone else, and we listen to them.
So they're left wing monkeys.
You can actually fact check that.
You can fact check that.
We do not even supply. We don't even serve coconut milk. We serve
Yeah.
almond milk. 2 different separate things.
Yeah, but you guys have coconuts. They still go get It's not just the milk. It was just like the
we have
one of the
coconut
milk.
flakes.
Our coconut flakes
there you
come
go.
from
Those come from
South
coconuts.
America, not Indonesia.
Yeah, so you just
Were there not monkeys in South America?
not this.
But
time
you
of the year.
said the monkeys in
Did
Indonesia.
they migrate? Do monkeys migrate?
I don't think there are.
I have no idea. Honestly, I don't know where monkeys are from.
Not the Americas, I don't think.
they're not.
Depends on what you're talking about.
So it sounds.
What?
We got some crazy people around here.
Great.
No, I think the monkeys that make our no wait no
Man,
they
I'm
just,
Monkeys that make our what?
Yeah. Y'all got
The
me nervous
coconuts,
now.
the shrimp-
Quit talking about monkeys.
the coconuts don't come from.
Your coconuts come from
Monkey
South
labor.
America, which I don't even know if coconuts do come from South America, but
They come from like tropical, regions,
man.
which can honestly be anywhere on a coastal
You
area.
go down to Florida and get a coconut.
These are in
Yeah, it's true.
Thailand.
Thailand.
Whatever you say.
Well, us that went to college, we know how to read. So
Josh went to
college?
college, went to fire college
Yeah, I went to
Fire
real college too.
for 6 months. Get
2
off
and a
his
half
back.
years.
How many credits you get?
Not enough to be a freshman. Not to be a freshman.
Yes, y'all
you
get
can-
off his back.
you've got years of eligibility left.
Yeah.
Go play football.
Gosh, play the trumpet or the trombone.
It always shocks me when you say that you're like a geek and
How's that
School and
shock
stuff.
you?
I couldn't see Josh as like a. I
I don't see him as a nerd. I see him as a guy that does his own thing, but not like as a
I want to hear what
nerd.
Zach was going to say.
I was about to say I couldn't see you as like a geek or a
Yeah,
nerd, but like what's
That makes me feel really good.
what's like?
Because you're like a
There's
cool
a bunch
kid.
of different definitions. You know,
You were the type of person that I looked up to in high school, and I was like, If only they didn't beat me up.
I actually got.
So that makes me feel good
I
now.
got bullied when I was in high school.
What, for looking too
Who?
good?
Or actually, it was middle
Your chin
school.
was too
Throwing the
chiseled.
ball too fast.
No,
Your six pack looked too perfect.
no, in middle school, actually, it was like the first year that I played football. I don't know how much I weighed or anything, but I was like pretty undersized, and I'd never played football in my life. I just kind of did it because everybody else did it to be cool. And this huge dude, like on defense, would just like destroy me at practice every day. And I was a quarterback because like I could throw. I had like a good arm because I played baseball.
So you weren't a nerd.
I wasn't a nerd, but I still got picked
Nobody's
on.
like, oh, look, a gay quarterback.
Dude, you're bullying
That quarterback's so weird.
because of the way that I got picked on isn't equal to the way that you got picked on.
Look.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's super left of
Look,
you to
Josh,
say, Josh.
Josh has the corner market on getting picked on. by
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So just let
I
that
would
be.
I would go to the counselor's office probably 3 days a week to call my
real?
mom.
Oh dang!
Like seriously, it was pretty
Really?
bad.
Because
Yeah.
they made fun of your size.
No, because I got destroyed in football practice, and then the kid would like pick on me in class, and he'd always like, you ever like had someone thump your ear?
Oh, yeah, I hate
and you
that.
know that sound that's like,
Oh,
I had
Oh,
like
gosh, that gave
PTSD
me
of like
little
that for
chiggers.
years.
Yeah.
Dang!
Because he would sit behind me and like thump my ear.
I
And
hate it when people
it
slap
got-
the back of your neck.
Should have whooped his A.
Bro, he was huge.
So
So the worst thing that happened
Lee,
was
did you play football?
he
in high
flipped
school?
your ears and then he
He verbally
abused, yeah.
abused me. I would literally go to the nurse's office.
just the
and
one
like,
kid.
yeah, pretty much.
He probably had a
Yeah,
crush on you.
that's
Didn't
crazy.
know how
That's
to
almost
process it.
almost like makes like the whole school hating me not even a thing,
You wanna know
or
that-
like everybody like beating me up.
You're exaggerating. There's
Yeah.
no way
You didn't get beat
360 kids.
Well, we
hated
didn't have
you.
360 kids in our high school.
What, 75?
Pretty close.
The good thing is I don't even remember the guy's name though.
Yeah, that is good.
Maybe I do. Martavis or something.
Martavis.
I don't know. But I would go to the nurse and like fake sick so I could go home and skip football.
Yeah, I used to do the
practice.
same thing, but it was because there were, a whole class was making fun of me.
What was wrong with you?
Nothing. People just they were like, "Oh, it's a weird kid."
I mean,
That's all it was.
well, there's just
Did you get bullied, Riley?
no,
I didn't either.
not once.
I don't. You probably didn't know that you were bullied, but they were bullied.
I always saw it as I was laughing with them, and they
Yeah.
weren't laughing at me. I played football too, and I was the small guy on the field, and our coaches were terrible, and we would do one-on-one hitting drills literally every day.
Those are
Oklahoma
illegal
drill?
now.
That I mean, literally, like
Ball
one
in the
guy
ring.
gets the ball, and the other guy literally, you just run into each other
I had a
to the point where I was a running back, and I was having to go up against like the senior running back for some reason. I'm bleeding out of my mouth. Like, obviously, I'm like holding back tears and everything. And we're still having to hit each other. He comes to the point, he's like, hey, I'm not going to hit you this hard this time. We meet in the middle, and he just kind of like wraps me up, and that's it. And I was like, thank God.
Dang.
It was terrible.
I really enjoyed high school sports.
I had
I did too.
I
That
enjoyed
was-
high school sports when I played baseball because I was.
I had a girl turn me down because she said it would be like if I was hugging a bag full of bones because I was so skinny.
I believe it.
So
You ever seen yourself?
well, not now. When I
Hey,
was,
give me some of that.
oh my gosh,
Let me get some of that.
Y'all need to cut down
Yeah.
some
Out
of
the
this
can.
water over here.
you want it out of the
I
can?
need it out the can, straight from the source.
If you're listening, we're all sharing Josh's.
No, they're stealing my
Did you see
monster.
how cloudy that was? That has so many chemicals in it.
Yeah, it's going straight to the
Now I
heart.
got to make it through 30 minutes of
this
a
is
podcast.
the new
with
COVID vaccine,
no-
bro.
This is why my
Monster.
triglycerides are high.
That M doesn't stand for monster; it stands for Moderna.
That actually
Moderna?
stands for Mark of the Beast, which is
We
what.
already talked about that on the.
Did we
Yeah.
talk
You
about
did.
that?
We
Oh,
covered-
yeah, we did.
Me and you covered that, I think.
Oh,
Things that you've already
somebody
talked
did.
about. The presidential candidates.
yeah,
yeah.
we still don't know who the president is.
Yeah.
You guys want my opinion on it?
Yeah.
Hey,
I mean, you're on the
Really?
podcast, so
do
we
you
got to
care?
listen.
Do you care to know? I don't really know anything about it, but are these guys the best that we can pull out of our hat?
Oh, we've been saying that for a year and a half. Like people have been saying that since
Ain't it pretty crazy?
they were saying that when it was Hillary and Trump. Was like, are these the best two candidates that we got?
Well,
At what point do you put an age like cap on the president?
well, think about it.
Would that
If
be
I were-
ageism if we did that?
If you had to, if
Yeah.
seriously, if you had to think about the type of person that would want to run for president, those people aren't like the smartest or the most stable or like because there
Yeah.
has to be something in your head that that would even prompt you to want to be in charge of everybody
Yeah.
that causes problems.
I would think like an ideal candidate would be like someone, I mean, I'm not like, being biased here or anything, but like someone that comes from a business background or a leadership background from a business company or
like John Maxwell. I would want him to be the
Organizational.
president, but he would never want to run for president.
because those people already have so much that it's like they're giving up so much of their life to come and do this like
That was part of Trump's thing.
job that's so criticized.
Yeah.
I think it is correct. Like, I mean, I'm just getting to the age now to where I'm able to like, pay attention and think for myself and stuff like that. But I mean, over the past 4 to 5 years, I can say like the amount of disrespect that has been like cast and like thrown, the shade that's been thrown at the president of like the United States is just like kind of ridiculous.
Well,
I'll
you can-
say
you
I
can
don't-
think that to the internet.
I don't think
be honest
that. I think there should be
Yeah.
a new rule or a new law, whatever, that you shouldn't be allowed to vote until you're 23, or
Yeah, we were talking about the other day. I kind of agree with that.
because before you're out of college, or at least with like an actual like real life job paying bills and stuff, it really doesn't matter who gets elected president. Like if you're on your parents' bill and everything,
It does if your parents lose their
yeah, but in
business.
that case, in that case, it's not your own formulated opinion; it's your parents' opinion.
Yeah.
Whereas,
What if you like went to a trade school right out of high school and then you went to work?
Okay,
Well-
should it be some kind of like income, like qualification or something?
No, that ain't never gonna
You'll
work.
get thrown in prison.
well,
for that.
even like an 18-year-old voting for president is just kind of wild because you don't.
You don't know anything.
You're not educating yourself enough on anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I hardly do, and I'm 24.
Yeah,
But I know enough now. I know like who being elected benefits me the most. Whereas, when I was 18, I was just voting because my parents said vote for this person.
Yeah.
And that goes to local stuff too. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't know local
How about
things going
Tuscaloosa
on.
flip for the first time in like 20 years that it's blue red now, not blue.
It's surprising.
As far as the
honestly.
county,
yeah.
it voted. It's
Wow.
a red county, which hasn't been. It was like Birmingham and Tuscaloosa and like Mobile County,
Probably Montgomery.
and then Montgomery were blue, and then everything else was red. Tuscaloosa voted red this time.
Why has Tuscaloosa always been blue? Is it, you think it's because like
It's a
college
bigger
professors
city.
and stuff?
The school, the college.
Yeah, it's got
University.
more.
But do the demographics go towards the students?
Yeah.
Well, if you look at Tuscaloosa's demographics, it's largely
Out of state.
Well,
Well,
but you vote.
the people that
You
live
don't
here,
vote
in
here.
your state.
the
Yeah.
people that live here are African American for the most part.
They're. I mean, it's like it's pretty good variation. It's like the same
I'm
as
not
other
saying that necessarily
larger
is
cities. Yeah, that's not a good
automatically
or bad,
left,
but
but-
there is definitely. It's been blue forever for a reason, just like all major cities are,
Yeah,
because you don't really have a lot of liberal people
Yeah.
living far away from other people.
yeah.
The more people in a located area, the more blue it gets.
The more
That's just how it
soft
works.
you are.
The more soft you are.
Can be.
So what do you guys think about like why it turned red or
I think this was just an election that. So for the most part,
Walt
in
Maddox
Alabama,
sucks.
I mean, for the most part in Alabama, like I don't feel the need to vote in
True.
Alabama because I already know the outcome. Like
Yep.
it's gonna be a Republican that's gonna carry Alabama. Like there's just if it wasn't, it would be shocking and it would be the first time in a long time. So I think there was a lot of that.
Well, Doug Jones he got voted in as senator 2 years ago.
you
That
think-
was a huge thing.
Yeah. We
That-
got Tommy Tuberville.
Specifically for Tuscaloosa, it was Walt Maddox and what he's done as the Democratic mayor. And then 2 years ago, Doug Jones getting voted in as a senator for the last 2 years of a term. It was pushback from both of those, I would say.
Well, I think it was
Specifically to
the
Tuscaloosa.
Doug Jones thing for sure,
Yeah.
and then also, I think too. There's been a lot of this election cycle. It was a lot of like, hey, like there's going to be a lot of flooding the voting area
Yeah.
with red and blue both, and so people felt the need to go vote this
Yeah.
time. I still didn't feel the need to. I voted. I didn't feel the need to vote because it's
Did y'all both vote?
The only thing that I thought was worth voting for was the Tuberville and Doug Jones thing. But for the age thing, even like 2 years ago when Doug Jones got elected, I don't even remember that. And I was 21. No, I was 22.
Yeah.
So
Did you guys hear or watch the Tuberville, like when they found out and like he had the press conference of like him giving a speech and everything?
I listened to him the day after talking about it on a.
Don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure he said something to the effects of you can either get a job or go to hell. I'm pretty
Sounds
sure he
about
said
right
something like
from
that.
him.
And then I was just like, the dude got me fired up.
Yeah.
I was like, slap me on the ass, send me in the game, coach.
Yeah. Tommy.
goodness.
Dude had me fired up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The worst thing he could have said was War Eagle, though.
Mike Pence called while he was
that was
talking.
sick.
And Mike, I remember he said, "This race is looking good for us."
And
Next thing,
then the polls closed and everything flipped.
everybody starts shipping in their votes that night.
That's
and
so
everything flipped.
without going down that rabbit hole. I assumed what happened in Tuscaloosa was going to happen throughout. Like,
Oh, you thought it was just going to
country?
turn red all through?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it'd be a landslide too, honestly.
it happened with Reagan. His first term, he barely won. He was the Republican,
But
and he barely won, and then did a lot of things that were good for the country and good for individual people. And then his second presidential term, he won 49
The
states.
thing you got to think about though back then
It's-
is the media.
Yeah.
Like the media wasn't as
Very true.
slanted and like as in your face.
But are we to the point now where somebody, just a normal person off the street, doesn't know that too? That
I think that you know it. But
if you walked up to a stranger and said, like, "Do you trust major news networks?"
They would
Everybody
say-
would be like, "No."
I think they would say, "Oh, I trust Fox News or I trust CNN." Like they trust their source of news, but they don't trust the overarching media that opposes their view.
That's why I think there's some kind of thing going on.
I will say this:
Conspiracy?
I kind of really do, and we haven't talked about it, and I haven't been watching a bunch of stuff, but I really just, and I mean, who am I?
You want
But
to talk about conspiracy theories?
what?
This is crazy. I heard this week. So eels, you know what an eel is, right?
Yeah.
Like a long bony fish.
My
that
name
looks
backwards.
like
They have bones in them?
I used to
Yeah, they
write
got
my
bones in
name
them.
backwards on papers when I was in school.
Weirdo.
we don't
Yeah.
know where they come from. They don't have reproductive organs. We've never seen them mate, but there's tons of them.
They're probably like a
I feel like
bacteria or
that's not
something.
true.
What
It is true.
BuzzFeed
I feel
article
like
did you
there's-
read
No,
this
I saw
on?
it. You can look it up.
Probably
There's,
YouTube a mating eel
check.
right
you
now.
can,
Yeah,
there's
fact
not.
check 'em.
We don't know where they came from.
Can I say something about the vote?
Sure.
I will say this: say all the votes are legal and like everything is like not fishy. Mail-in votes are legal. Everything. You gotta give it up for Biden's campaign manager or whoever is on that marketing team.
That kept him from slobbering too much.
But they got people to mail in votes because
Yeah.
the whole, 4 months before the election, Trump's team saying don't mail in. The USPS is going to throw it away, whatever. Whereas Biden's people were saying mail in your vote now, vote now, vote now, and that's what happened, and that's why he won.
But it's so much easier to screw with stuff
Yeah,
when
but
it's
now-
not in person.
Now he is.
That's why I
labeled the
think that just
winner.
adds to the fact that I think there's something up. We just need to wait. We need to wait. It's not like Trump's team's going to skimp on finding like investigators and stuff. So
Oh,
if
they'll
there's something
find
out
it.
there, they'll find it and we'll see. Also, have you cared at all? I haven't felt different at all not having a president. My life has been better
I mean, we
almost.
still have a president.
but just
We're
like
not-
being
we're
in
not
the
gonna roll
limbo
through
phase.
January and then this.
Well,
But like
the part of
even if they do find something, there's still, I guess, like forces at play that can minimize all that and push that back under the table.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it. I think they're probably going to find something or some kind of corruption is going to be exposed.
There's
but
no way Trump won't throw that over everything, though.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to not be the president. If there's a way he can figure out to find that there's some stuff going on, he'll spend every dollar he's ever made getting that to.
But what's going to happen is he'll get all that and he'll find it and he'll have the proof, but then he's just going to be, it's going to be rendered invalid or not credible by the media sources that will be covering
the media has nothing to do with
Yeah,
it.
you put a
though.
judge in there.
Yeah, it's judges. It's
But
not
like that's what I'm saying though is I think the corruption and like the payoffs go so deep as to get to those positions as well.
And the government now just tries to do too much. I mean, when it was founded in America, it was meant to be an overseer, not involved in our lives. So we were, supposed to just go on with our lives, businesses, and everything, and then the government would be there for structure.
It's small government, big
Now
government.
it's trying to get involved in everything.
And now you have companies that aren't even government still basically playing the hand of government.
Yeah,
of like
Facebook and Twitter run the government.
They're working on that. We did talk about that on the podcast.
Yeah.
That maybe we did.
We did. So Twitter and Facebook, there's like two separate. You're either a publisher of content or you're just like an open network.
You're a platform.
You're a platform for other people, and they haven't differentiated between those two with Facebook and Twitter.
Because there's a loophole in the
There's a loophole in the
law.
laws, but they're making them figure out which one
They're
are.
closing the loopholes.
If you're a publisher, you can censor, you can edit, you can do whatever you want. But if you're a platform, you can't.
So is there a reason that they would not want to be a publisher? Like,
If you're a platform, you can't like shadow ban people and take content down that you don't like. But if you're a publisher, it won't be free.
okay, so like, if Facebook and Twitter went to be a publisher,
It would be
have
completely
to-
different.
yeah.
It
So,
like,
wouldn't be
we would
that you
have
could
to
just
pay to
post
be
whatever
on
you
there.
want. Yeah,
Okay.
you would have to like work for them to post or like be a freelance writer and
and they
stuff.
would pay you to like post stuff on
It wouldn't be an open forum, but
Yeah.
they're right now living as an open forum that they can also edit, and you can't do that.
Yeah, that's
So they're
why a lot of
closing
people
the
are moving
loopholes.
to that parlor.
The part, yeah, that so that's yeah.
I don't believe that there is a social media or ever will be that is completely not influenced by the creators of said social
Well, that's
media.
what Parler is. It has a team of people that make decisions. There's not a Jack Dorsey or Zuckerberg at the top.
Yeah, but those people are still going to be able to, whoever, the highest bidder is going to get to claim what is on that app. That's just how it works. And every app, like the app that I had that was very minuscule, if Zach pulled it up on his phone, I could see that he pulled it up in this house. Like the information that you let apps have are insane. And as soon as you agree to any of those terms, like they have free reign over you.
Yeah.
So
if you haven't heard of Parler, though, Parler is a new app that's pretty much, it's a Twitter for conservatives. Or there's a lot of conservatives that are moving towards Parler because they say they don't have this
freedom of
editing.
speech, yeah.
Yeah, it's freedom of speech. And so you got all these people that are moving to Parler, and it's really annoying because, like, right after the election, my entire Facebook feed was full of people that were like, I'm going to Parler. I'm going to Parler. It's like, then just don't tell me. I don't care.
It's the same with people that before they do like a social media fast, put a huge
yeah.
post up being like, I'll be back in 20
Yeah.
days to make my life. I'm
Yeah,
working on
I'm
myself.
making myself
Just
better.
get off of it.
Just remember me for 20 days
Yeah.
is pretty much what they're saying.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
don't
the same
forget
thing.
that I exist.
But that's the type of people that live in the world
Is the
now.
point of it though to like kind of be more so of like a boycott like they used to back in the days to kind of like, I know like it's probably not going to be enough to, impact or influence Facebook or Twitter, but like, do you think a lot of people are doing that more so as like a boycott of the thing, or
I think they're just
doing it for attention?
yeah. I think they're doing
Imagine-
it for attention.
I look at it as like it's not as like dark and cloudy as that. Because imagine if like UA all of a sudden said, okay, this will be specific for Blenz. Like, hey, y'all can stay on campus, but we're going to edit your menu. And then Ole Miss says, well, y'all can come here and do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You don't go to Ole Miss to boycott Alabama. You're just going there because you can do what you
Better
want.
opportunity.
Yeah.
That might be a
just think
naive
it's-
look at it, but I don't think
yeah.
it's as like screw Facebook. It's not going to be better because obviously they don't have the money and the
Yeah.
resources to pull off an app like
Probably
that.
a horrible app, too.
It's really, I
haven't
bet it's
downloaded it.
clunky. I bet
Yeah.
it's, but
Yeah.
you can. What's the whole point of social media is to like put out your stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what we need back?
MySpace.
No, Yik Yak.
Oh,
Was Yik Yak the one where it was all anonymous?
It was
and
like upvote, downvote, and that's it.
Yeah.
You get on Yik Yak and you'd see a yak about you. And
did
be
you
like, oh,
post
crap.
one? Did you ever post one that got over 100 likes or whatever?
No,
Upvotes?
I had yacked about me though.
Oh, I bet.
I was in like middle school.
That's
You're a
why it
terrible
was
guy.
so cool because like you could see like I know it
We
was
loved
it
that.
was
app.
it was still a thing when I started school here.
Yeah,
back
when
in,
we were
like,
at Bama,
2014, 15.
we were in the middle of it.
It was like
great.
you could like get on there and kind of like conspiracize of like
Well,
what's
the
this
machine
about?
is
Like what
whatever.
is that?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, maybe it's
Where
high
is
school.
that?
then.
Where
You
they
were in
talking
high
about
school
that?
because
Yeah,
I was
you
in
had to be in
college
high
when it
school.
came
He's a
out.
young buck.
Yeah.
I'm a year younger than y'all. Well, than you.
Yo, let me get some tea.
I can't remember, but I remember
Your
seeing
pig's
yaks
gonna be
about me. Me and my
brown.
buddies at my school would get yacked on.
Oh, like Pennzoil.
Yeah. Oh, but it was because it was located to like your
Yeah.
area too, so it was all your high school stuff. In
Oh,
college, you couldn't like
It got-
figure out who was
it
talking
got
about who
banned
on
really
it
quick
at UA.
from Coleman.
Well, yeah, because y'all have like 200 people in there.
Yeah, I mean, you'd go on there and like everyone would have yaks about them.
That was really cool because you couldn't do anything but like just a text.
It was anonymous.
Yeah, but it was
Yeah.
all like mean stuff. It was
Yeah.
never nice things.
Nobody
never,
got on there just to be like, "Hey, I hope everybody's having a great day," and everybody's
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, upvote that. That's cool."
But
It would
but
always
it's
be,
like
like,
it's like the
rumors.
freedom of speech kind of thing. It's like screw it. Like nobody knows who it is, so I can say
Yeah,
whatever
let's
I
bully
want.
this guy because nobody knows who I am.
But
Yeah.
the guy that's
No, but
getting
that's a
bullied
thing.
doesn't know who he
That's
is.
a
either.
thing. Behind the rise of social media and just the internet in general has also correlated with it a rise in just hate.
Yeah.
And it's because if we're standing here like this and you think I said something stupid, unless you want to say it to my face, but like,
want to fight, bro?
if you're going to say it, you're going to say it to my face or not say it. But when you can pull up your phone and be like, that was the stupidest thing I ever heard,
Yeah.
it's a lot easier to just be bad without any repercussions, immediate repercussions. And that's why that's why
Until,
social
like,
media
12
is
years
usually-
later, someone pulls up. You're like running for mayor, and they pull up like the code of that, and it's like, this is what he said.
it's just like basically a canvas for anyone to hide behind and do whatever they want without any consequences.
Yep.
So what about them eels though?
Yeah, I googled it. You're a liar.
I'm
Is it-
not.
I googled it and like
It says New Zealand longfin eels breed only once at the end of their lives, making a journey of thousands of kilometers from New Zealand to their spawning grounds near Tonga. Their
When
eggs,
did they figure this out?
I don't know. This is on Wikipedia. Could have been yesterday. Their eggs, of which
Wikipedia,
each
then it's
female
not a lot
eel
before.
produces between 1 and 20 million, are fertilized in an unknown manner.
But they don't have reproductive organs
Neither do
throughout their life
fish.
cycle.
Yeah, but they reproduce. They're not just
Like salmon, a salmon spawn. The girl puts the eggs in the dirt, and the
Yeah.
guy comes over and drops.
But
the
they're
stuff on
still
top of it.
reproductive organs. It's not they don't have a penis and a vagina, but there are specific like organs that are built for like a female has this set of stuff that's going to make eggs.
I mean,
and then
it's
the
like
male's
a-
going to come along and like
So there's no such thing as eel eggs.
How do you
No.
know that though?
because I googled it before we sat down.
fish.
Yeah, but you don't know that article that you read
Y'all
has
talking
any
about
kind of
something silly for
credibility
5
to
minutes.
It was
you.
I'll
a,
get to the
it was
bottom of
a
this.
it was like a journal. It was like a scientific journal.
And
It
they
was
do-
somebody's WordPress.
They do what they do the same.
WordPress.
They do the same thing that fish do. They just lay their eggs, and then I'm sure a male eel comes and
But
lays
if
the
they don't
rest
have
of it.
reproductive organs, then how do they do that?
How do they know they don't? Have they ever dissected an eel?
I'm sure someone has, but
Yeah.
What?
Well, what if they're
Have they-
what if they're asexual or whatever that means? Where there's
They can
birds,
be either sex.
There's like birds and fish that have both.
Yeah.
Well, I guess if you're saying there's none, but there is some because they're having eggs.
That's what they're saying is
They're probably both. They let their eggs out. And I
So
don't know.
before Googling this, so I looked into it a little bit after I saw the initial article about it. And then I did look at a scientific journal, and it wasn't until 2015 that they figured out that eels on their way to like this certain part of the ocean, they grow their gonads on the way to like they live their entire like 15 years without having any reproductive organ, and then they start swimming to this one section of the sea, and then they grow their reproductive organ.
they get that testosterone flowing.
Dang.
So they
But,
only reproduce one time in their life?
Yep.
Then do they die?
Yep.
So that's why they never had found evidence of one.
Yeah.
So somewhere in the ocean, there's a pile of dead eels with
Gonads.
nuts hanging under
Yeah.
them.
Pretty much. Or unless like the baby eels eat the eels that have died.
Well, that's what salmon do.
Yeah.
So eels and salmons are in complete reverse.
Mm-hmm.
Eels live in lakes and streams and rivers, and then they come out of those to reproduce in the ocean. Salmon
Go the other way.
they grow in the ocean and then they go back up the water to reproduce, and then they die, and then all the nutrients in the water help the eggs grow.
Yeah.
So anytime you see an eel in salt water,
Unless
open
it's
water,
headed toward the ocean.
It's going
it's
toward,
getting it on.
Yeah.
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 Interesting.
But what's crazy to me is it wasn't until 2015 that they figured that out.
Well, probably because nobody cared.
Yeah, probably nobody.
Nobody
did.
get,
I bet there's
freaking
6 people that care
zoologists
now.
and stuff that are like, we
There's
don't know
bigger
where
things
eels
to
come
worry
from.
about.
Look,
like
if you
polar
devoted your
bears
life to
and-
eel reproduction, I probably don't want to talk to you.
There are people that
They probably
have.
thought they were snakes that could swim and just were like,
and would
screw
fire
these
you up
guys.
if you touched the wrong one.
Screw these guys. That's a
I'm just saying nobody put enough thought into that until 2015.
It'd be a waste of energy. Who cares about eels?
Yeah. What do they do
they're kind
for
of
us?
gross, honestly.
One time my car battery died, and I just luckily had my eels with me. I just put them on the battery and just
How'd you get them to bite the
Fired 'em up.
nodes?
trained them for years.
You had to have a negative and a positive there.
Yeah, you'd have had to have a negative.
They
eel.
have so much power, it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
Especially if you evolve them.
Speaking of reproduction,
You know,
Zach, I feel like we need to give you some dating advice
Oh gosh.
Come on with it.
because I've known you for a while now,
I'm all ears.
and I don't feel. Have you had a girlfriend since I've known you?
Do you want to put labels on things? No. I'm not a man that puts labels on things.
Is there a
because
girl
I don't-
out there that's going to be upset about that? Hearing that?
No, I don't think so.
Probably.
I wish, but
come
probably
on,
not.
man. Listen.
Well, Lee, you had a good piece of advice earlier with like when you're at the checkout line.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's just a way to possibly pick up a girl.
That's what we're talking about. Dating
Okay.
advice, picking a girl up.
Dating advice and picking a chick up are not the same thing. But
Okay. Anyways,
and I didn't get this off the internet or a TV show or something. This organically happened at when I was in line at.
You just thought of it, or you saw it happen, or you
you
actually
did
thought of
this.
it. I
You
thought,
did it
nope, I didn't do it. I didn't think to do it. I just thought
last
this
week
could
at
be
the neighborhood
done.
market.
This could be done. So say you're checking out at like a Target or grocery store or something, and the lines are super long, especially during COVID, and you got to be just how the lines are long a
Yeah.
lot of the time, especially when they have like 2 things open or whatever. So say the lines are super long and you're close to checking out, and you see an attractive female way behind you or a couple of lines over, but way back. You could, in theory, get her attention and be like, "Oh, hey babe, I'm over here. I've got in line a while ago," and then you bring her over with her stuff like it's your girlfriend or whatever, and then she can check out before you, and then she will repay you with a date.
First off, you got to
so
have
dating advice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not dating advice,
yeah,
but
that'd be cool.
If it
I'd
worked,
like to see it.
yeah,
done.
if
if it
worked.
worked,
But
And if it
you know,
didn't work, then you're just nice to a pretty girl.
yeah, there's a lot
unless
of
she looks
factors
at
in
you
that.
as a weirdo,
Well,
and
if
like,
she's too dumb to figure out what you're
Hey
trying
babe,
to do, then
hey babe, babe, come here, babe,
okay, you screamed loud.
you,
We got-
babe, you
with the glasses.
with the glasses, babe. You know me. We date. We know each other. I'm
and
your
if it blows up in
boyfriend.
your face like that, you just turn around, throw your sunglasses on, and get out of there. But if it works,
I've been standing here the whole time.
Yeah, you didn't see me earlier. We came in together. You don't recognize me?
Hey, sorry guys, this is my girlfriend. She's
Look
gonna
at
come
him.
up here.
He's taking this so hard right now.
It's gonna be another Josh Riley podcast.
but I would
moment.
say it would be a nice organic filter too, because if she can't figure that out,
Now, if it worked, like that would be sick. That would be
Where's my
awesome,
phone?
yeah,
and it would be probably like the greatest story ever.
yeah, wouldn't
Yeah.
it be?
That'd be
If it
sweet.
worked, yeah.
To
But
start-
like,
Well, I didn't say it's 100%
the
guaranteed. It's
outside
probably never been
factors
done.
to that. It's like, what if she's married? What if she has a boyfriend?
That's my
what if
biggest
she's
fear.
Okay, then you just did somebody a favor.
okay? We're just talking about it. Don't get offended.
Bro,
I just can't believe this idea doesn't make sense to y'all.
It makes sense.
In theory, but
It makes.
I'm talking about the goof troop over here. I'm not talking about
it
you.
makes sense.
Goof Troop.
Troop.
Hey, that should be our podcast.
The goof troop.
That's what we should call our
It
followers.
makes sense, but to start off, you have to have
I like it.
the biggest amount of confidence in the world.
Oh,
And
yeah. Yeah.
I'm not
Also,
the most
you have to be
confident
like
person.
an 11 on the attractive scale. Because
Or
if you're
not.
if you're
No, I
like
don't
if you're
agree
a
with that.
4 and there's like a 7 behind you, and you're like, hey, come up
What
here,
if she
they're gonna be
digs
like,
that charisma?
A
That
4 and
charisma
a
gets
7
you.
can go together,
Yeah.
but not a 4 and a 10.
I think.
But I'm not shooting shots at 7s anyways.
First off, what's a 4?
Huh?
What kind of gargoyle would be a 4?
Do you want me to name names?
You might-
I can't do it on the podcast, but I can name
guess
some names.
you could.
I can name some names. There's one that we know that we've talked about quite a bit.
Oh, well, he couldn't do that.
I'm not talking about a he. I'm talking about a she.
Wow.
Oof.
I think gestures go a long ways, though. I think
Yeah.
if that worked, she was single, she was willing to come into the line with the stranger
And like pick
then-
up on what you're doing. She's got some
Yeah.
social skills.
And
She
then
can,
you're,
like-
you're
she's like,
expecting.
"Oh."
Today's climate, she's not gonna think that
Oh,
somebody's a really weird like rapist dude though, who's just like,
not
oh,
making noise
Come
in
here.
a crowded grocery store.
I will say, yeah, like Josh said, in today's climate,
Yeah.
today's time and age, it's probably less likely to happen
Probably
and
would
work
get her
out
to
for you.
look up from her phone
Probably
in the
not,
first place.
yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
that's
Probably
all
got, she
gone.
probably got AirPods in, too.
Yeah.
So you
she's
gotta
probably
go-
on Parlor
you gotta
doing her
pull the
thing.
pod out.
Yeah,
Hey, come over here.
that's fine.
That's just it takes a lot of balls. Which I mean, if it works, that's
I mean,
fantastic.
it'd be funny.
That's fantastic.
You just gotta like not care. What
It's like everything
they
just has to
think.
line up and fit perfectly and go together.
It happens.
Yeah,
And then,
How'd you meet? And then you tell that story?
yeah.
That's
Wow.
killer.
oh yeah,
That's
it would be
pretty
a
sick.
good story if it worked.
Or they'd be like, "How'd you end up in jail?" Well, so I called this girl Babe, and then she
wouldn't
filed a
come
sexual
over,
assault
so I went and
charge.
grabbed
How'd you
her.
get permanently banned from Publix?
yeah.
How are you
Well, I
on
was
Publix
screaming.
no-fly list?
Screaming 4 aisles over.
But then you could be like the only guy that's ever gotten escorted out of a Target by police for not stealing something.
I don't think that's an achievement though.
It could be.
I don't think you'd be the only guy to ever do that either.
Yeah. So do that. Let us know how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Are you on any dating apps right now?
I've actually been on all of them in the
Yeah.
past, but
Grindr?
no, not that one.
Not that you said all of them. I was just
You did say all of them.
All of the ones that I've been on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Were there any that stood out to you?
Like dating apps or
Yeah.
like people?
Well, I was talking about dating apps.
No,
but-
not really.
Okay, because there's one that a buddy of mine told me about recently.
is your
that-
buddy's name Josh?
No, where your friends like are the ones that like swipe right and left for you.
Well, that's dumb.
Like your friends like kind of like set you up on these dates
If
or
you
whatever.
did that,
Huh?
if that had been around, you'd have gone on dates with rhinos
Oh yeah, for sure.
But like,
only.
what do
I
what
would
do
have
they
not
call it? Blinder?
I don't remember what it was called.
Hope your friends are nice.
It's like a blind date, except in.
Dude,
in-
we would have set
Yeah.
you up with the fuggliest.
Yeah.
Just
Ugh.
like
I really like whenever I liked Hinge. That was really popular right before me and my. That's how me and my
they've
wife
got some
met.
cool commercials. I
Hinge?
like the Hinge
Yeah.
commercials.
I feel like that's the only one that doesn't have a bad like connotation with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I think it
Like,
was.
because people are like, Tinder, you only get on there if you're like hooking up.
Yeah.
And then like Bumble just like is the most notorious like dating app, I feel like. And people just think like it's not Match.com. It's like,
Yeah.
you know,
Grindr doesn't have a lot of girls on it.
yeah,
It's just
not for me.
Well, not real girls.
yeah.
There's some girls on there. They're
Yeah.
just not real.
Them confused.
But I tried
girls.
Hinge for a little while, and it's
Yeah.
just like I kind of feel like it wasn't very popular because
Farmers only.
I could do
Is
that.
that is farmers only real?
Yeah. You
Yeah.
can get you a good sub.
I bet they
good-
don't have an app though. I
I
bet
thought
they
it was
still
fake.
www.
No, they got an app.
.com.
Well, Hinge is how me and my wife met, and I felt like that was the only dating
I
app
thought it was on
that.
Bumble.
No, it was on Hinge. And I felt like Hinge was the only dating app that you could actually show your personality.
Really?
Yeah, because like they've got all the like questions or
Yeah.
like pictures, and you comment on those pictures or questions
Yeah.
that they put up. It's like I can add a little bit of like, humor or
Yeah.
whatever into this. With all the other ones, it was just like, oh, we like each other. What's up, girl? Like
Yeah.
that's not.
Why do you think like dating apps in general get such like a rough like reputation?
You want me to go?
Oh yeah,
Go,
sure.
bro.
You
In general, it's a terrible way to meet a partner.
in general used to be,
Well,
Used to be, yeah.
but like I think as time has went on, now it's more of a like people don't view it as like, oh, you met on a dating
just because
app?
people don't view it like that doesn't
definitely
mean it's
more
not genetic.
common.
It's not biologically a terrible way to meet a partner.
I don't think it's. I never used the dating app, but I don't think it's a bad thing because
It opens
I
you
mean-
up to so much more of a we'll say like a resource pool. Like there's way more resources there than like if you're just so we'll use us for example. I'm going to work, I'm coming home, I'm going to church, might be in a couple of small groups, but like there's
Yeah.
not
Where you
that
gonna
many
find a
people.
girl?
Yeah, unless you're yelling at people in Target or whatever Lee said.
The way I see it is like you have these like resources that you can and cannot use. If you're someone in that position that you're looking for something like that, why not use those things? It's kind of like as
Yeah.
a business owner, why wouldn't I use QuickBooks? Why wouldn't I use Square to run my POS
Yeah.
system? Why wouldn't I have someone run my payroll for it instead of doing it all by myself
Yeah,
for
if
myself?
I'm a carpenter, I'm not gonna just not use a hammer because
Yeah.
some people don't like hammers.
yeah.
you just got
Now-
like.
Well, that's
Now, do
not
you-
a good example.
I don't think you get like. I think it's just for that initial interaction, you know, like just meeting someone.
Yeah.
But like you obviously can tell, like once you meet that person, if like you guys connect and have like interests and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
As
But
long as you're just not like using online dating just like for hookups, then
Yeah.
I don't think it's a.
so that's
why it has such a bad.
I
what
would
it
say
used
that's
to-
well, yeah.
It used to be like that was the only reason that you use dating apps is like looking for a hookup.
Yeah.
Now it's like I think more and more people are using it for legitimate reasons.
I don't think it's an efficient way to find a partner, like an actual long-term partner.
Seemed pretty efficient to me.
That's fine. I didn't say it can't work. I'm just
Yeah.
saying in general.
I'll let
but,
Meg know you don't think it's going to work between us.
But I'm also the person.
It's a
that
fugazi.
When people ask me, but dating advice, they look at me like I'm crazy when I tell them my advice.
Yeah.
But like
I mean, when you're yelling at
so
somebody across
outside, but like
Target.
let's talk about like I said earlier. If you like as an individual going to work, going home, going to church, where are you meeting people?
Church.
You're going to meet people at church.
I did.
But you could meet
yeah,
someone.
but
When
like-
you were younger.
Church.
No, like that's the only time that
Yeah.
that works.
When
I
you're
feel
younger.
Not
like
necessarily.
If I'm this age and I'm going to church, like it's hard to like it is really hard.
Well, you're on the back end
But and what if
at 30.
He's not too far
Why?
that's what I'm saying is like I think the older that you get, the harder it gets to meet people like
Just out and about.
out and about. And if you think about it, like back when like we were younger, like Match.com, eHarmony,
Yeah.
all that stuff were so prominent and geared more towards like the 30 to 50-year-old range. And then you had like brands like Bumble, Tinder, and all these other ones come out and make it more modern and geared it more towards like a younger demographic. And that's when all those
started-
dating
yeah.
apps started going downhill for hookups and stuff like that. Because if you're younger, you should definitely be more like in social environments, a bar or you know, like
Also
stuff,
a bad place to be
a church, like
Yeah, well, like
all that
one,
stuff.
you could go to one, and it's like there's all of these people are my age roughly. They're if they're not single, we can make them single.
a
You know
lot
what
of
I mean?
people are looking for that same thing there too. As bad as like
exactly no, but once you go to church and you start getting into like single small groups,
yeah.
Oh
you'll
yeah.
all freaking throw up, bro. Like,
You did it.
yeah, I did. Well, and ours was like a young professional group, but it was mainly to like just meet people to hang out with because you didn't. That's another thing is like outside of dating and stuff too. Like it's hard to just find like people to just hang out with.
Yeah.
If you're not like in some sort of like social environment, like an environment that is geared towards social interaction and stuff. But I don't know.
The best advice that I have for all you young listeners out there is get in early and get in while you're young.
Yeah.
Get in while you're young.
Don't go through the troubles that I've had to go through.
I was freaking 28 before I found.
But yeah, and Josh.
Yeah, it was not fun. It was not fun.
I don't know. There's definitely time to,
You guys want to? You got anything to talk about, Josh?
Well, we've got stuff that we had mentioned earlier, but there's not.
Like what? Let me see if it's any more important than what I was about to talk about.
You can go for it.
No, tell me.
It's just the
old Harry Styles with his new style.
What do you got, Zach?
Yeah.
Christmas.
That's probably more entertaining. And we can all probably have an output on that because I was going to talk about sports, and I know only 50% of this podcast panel could probably talk about sports.
Yeah.
Josh.
Yeah, these guys are doing a mascot madness with mascots.
People that listen to us know what we do.
Yeah, and they know how frustrating
they
it
might
is
just be
listening to
like
it.
seeing the eye candy and they click on it for the first
That's
time
true.
and they're like,
Yeah, let me explain. These
No,
guys
please
don't
don't
watch
explain.
football, so they
The heck I don't.
they
I don't
have
like
created
watching
a
it, but I watch
tournament
it.
full of mascots, but only what the mascots look like in real life. But sometimes what
Yeah, sometimes.
they feel like what superpowers they could have. And
We fixed all that.
sometimes
it's
what
fixed now.
the logo is, it changes week to week.
We've corrected our wrongs.
Anyways.
Let's talk about Harry Styles.
Okay. Talk about him.
So rumor has it. I mean, I guess not.
Rumor has it on the internet.
Yeah, it's on
It's on
the
a
internet.
magazine cover.
Dude,
Vogue.
he's European, right? I guess like
I don't know where he pees.
in your bowl.
What in the? I'm glad most people don't listen this far into the podcast.
He's British or something. He's from the the One Direction band, formerly
Yeah,
known
yeah.
as One Direction, and apparently he got on the cover of Vogue, wearing a dress.
Yep.
He's from England,
Yeah.
which makes more sense.
He's from England, Britain, the United Kingdom,
It's
all those different things that are the same thing. What's y'all's opinion on?
So somebody, the
Is it a dress or a nightgown?
Oh, his dress, multiple dresses.
it's and a
like
lot
a
of
whole
people are
photo
saying that he is homosexual,
I wouldn't doubt it.
I mean,
or
it
bi.
looks like it.
Yeah.
At least bisexual.
or he's like, well, whatever the new phrase
I
is
mean, if
for
it walks like a duck, quacks
you
like a
know,
duck.
sex is
Wears a
fluid.
dress like a duck.
Yeah.
Probably a duck.
Sex is fluid and gender is fluid and all that. Like that's what they're on that like
Yeah.
they're on that kick, I think.
What's frustrating about it, I don't really care what you do in your daily life, what you want to wear, but the left on like Twitter and stuff is like praising him and everything, which okay, whatever, do what you want to do. But then anyone that is like, hey, this is like weird for a guy, like people are saying that he's like brave and a masculine man, and if anyone comes against that is like, I don't think he's that masculine, then the left just tears him apart.
Don't it?
And
yeah.
but like the woke tolerant left is only woke and tolerant if you agree with their opinions, which is so frustrating.
Love trumps hate unless you don't love what I love.
Yeah. So that's what's so annoying about
And I
it.
hate you.
Like one of this podcast that me and Zach both listen to, it's called Impulsive, and it's got Logan Paul.
that dude.
Gosh.
It's actually really
Why y'all
good.
listen to that
Bro,
crap.
They
it's a
have
good
lots of
podcast.
good guests on there and
Can't
stuff.
stand the Paul brothers.
Well, they're
you given
he's
them a chance
24
lately?
Yes, I
now.
have.
He's 25 now.
Yeah.
Logan is.
Well, he went on the Jeff. Was it where he cuts the hair? Jeff's
Jeff's Barbershop.
Barbershop. He went on there the other day and was trying to get on Cody Ko
Oh no, that
for
was
like
that was
that
Jake.
was his brother.
That
Yeah,
was Jake
but still,
Paul.
like I've given both Paul brothers. You go in and film a suicide forest.
Well, that was in his younger
The
days.
guy's changed.
Was
That was
like a
2008,
year ago.
2018.
Have you ever heard of
Logan Paul.
Forgiveness?
2 years ago.
Josh, have you heard of Forgiveness?
Not for
He
him.
has matured a lot, but
Since he
their
started
their
boxing for
thing
clout.
was their thing. They were like, one of their co-hosts, his name's George Janko. He was kind of like on the side. He's like, hey, this is like weird that a guy's like being praised for being masculine and he's wearing a dress, and like he's like, that's not very masculine. And then like Logan and his other co-host Mike just like ripped into that guy's like
Yeah.
calling him mean names and stuff because he wasn't tolerant to.
So these are guys that you say you think they got good ideas.
I'm not
No, I'm
saying,
just
not
saying
saying
they're
it's
like-
a good podcast to listen to because it's very open minded and open like speech.
Except for when they don't agree with one of the other guys and then they get on him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They're Mike and Logan represent
They're like
like
the
the
woke-
left,
yeah.
where George is more of the right. He's more right leaning out there in LA, and he just got like blasted.
Yeah.
And their podcast is trending on Twitter right now because of how Logan and Mike handled that, because they just like
It's probably
blew
all
him up.
thought about before.
They're co-hosts too. like a friend.
Well, and
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that they probably planned that.
yeah. Well,
Because
the
they know how to get
I saw the
views.
other day. The only thing that I've ever been like, oh, I might want to watch that is they actually had Carl Lentz on a few months ago or whatever. But now,
Didn't he get
yeah,
he's
put
out.
on blast?
What did
out.
he do?
He got fired.
He got fired from Hillsong, New York, because of
About
He
time.
was cheating on his wife.
he was cheating on his wife, but there was also multiple other things that they were like. It was leadership,
trust.
yeah, leadership
an
and
affair.
trust. Now they're actually like going. They hired a third party investigator to come in and like make sure everything's up to par with Hillsong standards
That's crazy.
at the New York campus.
There, I'm sure in those massive churches, Hillsong, Bethel, all of them, there's probably weird things that go on.
Yeah, but you would hope
can't-
that your lead pastor wouldn't be a part of it.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I mean, the amount of like crazy pastors that are on a smaller scale is insane. So large scale when millions of dollars are coming in. Like if a pastor is like living in a mansion and playing basketball with Justin Bieber, I'm sorry, there's probably something there that
Well, I don't have a problem with playing basketball
well,
with
when
Justin
do you-
Bieber, but like going out and taking shots
shots
and then
with-
taking your shirt off, that might be a different
And
story.
having a 5-month romantic relationship with a girl while you're married with 3 kids.
oh yeah, it's messed up. But I'm just saying, as a pastor, like if you're like, how many times do you think they actually talk to their church members that aren't millionaires? You
I
know?
mean, I think that's
Who knows?
across the board though. If you go to a church with more than 150 people, that's probably
Yeah.
like you're not talking to the head pastor 80% of the time anyway. Like he's
By
talking to,
design, he can't.
yeah, he can't
It's- yeah.
shepherd 150 plus people effectively. But
I don't know. I disagree with that. I think you should be available at least.
well, I think available, but like
You physically cannot.
But
Yeah.
Riley, if you said if every bowl you handed out had your cell phone number on it, it's like if y'all need anything, let me know.
I'm not a pastor of a church. I'm simply.
I'm just saying
Man
a
that
single
blends
person with
smoothies.
numbers.
but just from a humanistic standpoint,
Yeah.
like if
you don't
have
have the
that
time
many
to
people,
field everybody's.
Yeah, but that's not even like comparable. A pastor's supposed to be investing into like their.
He's supposed
people's
to invest
lives.
into support staff,
It's the
and then
Jethro
support
principle.
staff
If you want to look it up,
invest into the small group leaders, and then the small group leaders invest into the.
Yeah, so
It's
if
a
the church
pyramid
is
scheme.
big enough to the point to where the lead pastor can't get to like the normal person like me, it should definitely have a trickle down effect and have people.
So, do you spend more time training your managers or your employees?
Managers.
It's the same principle.
Yeah, I mean, I get
organizational
that.
structure.
I don't mean just by like church, just in an organization.
Yeah.
You train the people just
Well,
below you. That's who you interact with the
so,
most, and then it trickles down.
In the fire department, we have it's called span of control. You can only effectively manage 7 people.
yeah.
And then you have to get those 7 people with
manage.
7 more people underneath them
Yeah.
to effectively do anything. Because if everybody's just going to the chief, like on a, so we'll say like a bomb goes off in Bryant Denny Stadium. All right, so we show up as a fire station or as a fire
A unit.
fire
Control unit.
department. As a fire department, we show up. We've got 12 trucks with 4 guys on every single truck. If everybody's going to the chief and they're like, "Hey, chief, I'm going to go do this real quick,"
Yeah.
go do it.
And even
Like,
if you said, and even if you use that example, like that's a big deal.
Yeah.
So like that probably could get to the chief, but like also the next day, Josh thinks they need softer toilet paper at the station. He's not going to go to the chief to say I think we need softer toilet paper.
Yeah.
well, with us, we have so you've got 3 guys underneath 1 guy.
Yeah.
On a truck, so that 1 guy is a lieutenant or a captain or whatever,
Yeah.
and so everything gets funneled to him,
You go
and then
up
he
one
can make
step.
decisions, or if it's bigger than him, he goes up to a battalion chief.
Yeah.
If it's bigger than him, he goes up to administrative chief. If it's bigger than him, he goes to chief. And so like the church effectively should run the same way, because if I can only effectively manage 7 people in like a serious environment, then like I don't want to talk to the pastor. Like if somebody else can like handle my problems,
Right. Most things
I'm not
don't
putting him
need
up
to
on a
be
pedestal.
And then you look later, 6 months later, and then your fire chief is like doing things completely opposite of what a fire chief should be doing.
Yeah.
Like in their personal life. Probably don't even need to go to that. It was probably a good thing it didn't get all the way up to him, because
Yeah.
he wasn't going to help me.
On a side note, fun fact: have y'all heard the thing where like everyone in the entire Earth, like not Earth, but like planet, is connected through 5 people.
Yeah. It's 5.
7 degrees of bacon.
Yeah,
Or is it 7 people?
degrees. 7 degrees of bacon, because you can trace back any actor.
You can trace
who's
back
been
any
in-
like human.
Yeah,
to
but like
Kevin Bacon.
the big thing was when it initially came out was
Why him?
you can trace back any actor that's been
Well,
in
Jason
anything back to Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon has
Within
been in
7
like more
people.
movies than any actor. Just not
He's
good
still
ones,
alive.
but yeah, but
That's
he's
like-
just been in so many movies that he has that
Yeah,
much.
7
Through
degrees of separation.
bloodline, or what do you mean?
Just people. Like, okay, so
Like
we'll say
Josh-
some random person in Indonesia. Well, like, okay, so that person was in that place in Indonesia. Well, somebody went on a mission trip to Indonesia and met that person. Well, then that person knew your second cousin, and then your second cousin knows you, and then you know me.
Okay, I
Like-
get it. I thought you meant like everyone was related through 5 people.
Nah,
No, like,
that's
say-
only in Alabama.
Let's just say, let's just say like my father-in-law is connected to the mayor of Coleman. Well, he's never even heard of Coleman, but he knows me. I know you. You know your mom or dad. One of them knows somebody that knows the mayor.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, that's just what that means. And it's not that you like know them. You've like interacted with them or know.
You could get to them
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
just sent like a flow chart.
Yep.
Basically a flow chart.
Yeah.
basically.
Which is the same thing with, like, I mean, if you think about it, you could go meet a celebrity if you trace through 6 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Or
you know
less.
Kendall Graveman.
Yeah.
How many people do you think he knows?
Yeah.
That gets you almost anybody in the country now.
Yeah. I could get us all to Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many degrees of separation?
I think
Did he send you a letter?
probably 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That letter.
One of my I don't know, it's my my dad's cousin
All right.
is the security advisor to like the Trump campaign
There you
or
go.
something.
Yeah.
So think about it, anybody that knows Zach is now 4 steps away from Trump.
And then anybody that knows us is 5 steps.
There you go.
It's
then you get from
basically
us to Zach.
I know somebody that knows someone's
Yeah.
situation.
That's what the degree
Somebody.
of connection is, yeah.
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 But cool.
So the Harry Styles thing,
It's an indication.
is
of
he
where
a
we're
man
at.
or not a man?
Genetically, sure.
Oh, yeah.
Is he a Muppet or a man?
Does he
Or
have
is
a
he a
wee wee?
Muppet of a
He
man?
might.
You know that song? I feel like you do.
What? Never heard of that song before. I'm sorry that I haven't.
The
Lee's
hit
itching.
movie,
Lee's
The
itching over
Muppets.
here, man.
Lee's got business.
Huh?
Lee's got business.
He's got to go see a man
We're not
about
going
it.
to talk about our Christmas.
Not this
We-
time.
Yeah. We've been on for an hour and 5 minutes now.
That's
R.I.P.
a podcast.
Thanksgiving, R.I.P. Christmas this year.
Yeah.
See you guys next year.
Enjoy it this year because then
Next year,
Christmas
you won't have
2021
Christmas.
it's going to be season's greetings.
It's just gonna be moss.
Oh, yeah. I did see a tweet the other day that was like, so if Joe Biden's elected, is it like an immediate thing that saying Merry Christmas is outlawed, or is it like a gradual thing?
Yeah. We're going to have to wait till the next one.
Yeah.
Mary Moss.
We'll see. But
But yeah, thanks for
Thank y'all
listening,
for
everybody.
coming.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming.
Yep.
You're welcome back anytime.
Grab
to
you
eat
some
my food and
Blenz.
drink my drinks.
I never want to come back ever again.
okay.
That's fine.
We'll
I
bring
feel
Zach
like y'all
on.
picked on me pretty hard in the
No,
last 10
we
minutes.
didn't.
We picked on
Boy-
everybody.
Boycott the Big 12. I mean the Pac 12.
Are they doing something bad?
Nah, just boycott them.
Yeah.
And Twitter.
Shadow ban 'em.
Actually, no, face. Yeah, Twitter.
Both. All of it. Get rid of social media.
Yeah. Anyways, thanks
Episode
for listening.
36. Thanks, guys,
Yeah.
for watching. Thank y'all for coming.
We're out.
See ya.